Classic cars have an undeniable allure. Timeless design, raw driving experiences, and a direct link to automotive history. For many, these icons seem like sound investments, especially with the global classic car market valued at nearly $40 billion in 2024 and growing rapidly. But the reality is often more complicated. Annual maintenance can range from $1,000 to over $3,800. And one overlooked issue, like deferred maintenance debt, can quietly destroy not just your budget, but your dream of ownership. In this video, we'll examine 5 legendary classics that hide costly financial traps beneath their polished exteriors. By the end, you'll have a clear framework to spot these hidden risks before you buy, starting with a car whose luxury reputation conceals more than meets the eye. The Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow stands out as a case study in how affordable luxury can quickly become a costly liability. Its reputation as a symbol of British prestige often overshadows the reality. Low purchase prices are usually the result of years of deferred maintenance and steep depreciation. What appears to be a bargain often conceals a significant financial risk, especially when it comes to ongoing upkeep. A central issue is the Silver Shadow's triple-circuit hydraulic system, which controls both the brakes and self-leveling suspension. Originally praised for innovation, this system now represents one of the car's greatest financial vulnerabilities. Failures are common after years of neglect, and costs escalate rapidly. For example, replacing the RR363 fluid hoses and associated pipes can run up to $6,300 according to specialist sources. A full hydraulic system overhaul is even more expensive, with some owners and experts reporting bills of $8,000 or £6,000 just for hoses and pipes. Even a routine brake service can exceed $1,000. These figures highlight the concept of deferred maintenance debt, hidden costs that accumulate when previous owners postpone necessary repairs, leaving the next buyer with the financial fallout. Rust is another major concern, amplified by the Silver Shadow's monocoque body. 2 key areas, inner sills and wheel arches, are especially prone to severe corrosion. Addressing extensive rust in these sections often requires specialized welding and bodywork, with repair bills that frequently surpass the vehicle's purchase price. This is not a rare occurrence. Documented examples show Silver Shadows bought for as little as $1,600 often need immediate work, exceeding the typical annual maintenance budget of £3,000 simply to address rust and hydraulic issues. Adding to the burden, the Silver Shadow's bespoke automatic climate control system is notorious for its complexity and cost. Replacing individual servo motors can cost hundreds of dollars each, plus several hours of labor. The L-Series V8 engine, while robust, is not immune to expensive problems such as block corrosion and oil seal leaks, and parts are both rare and costly. Specialists consistently advise budgeting at least $3,000 per year for maintenance, warning against using generic parts that can lead to even greater damage. The Silver Shadow's market history, marked by rapid depreciation, means that repair costs often exceed the car's value, especially for neglected examples. This financial trap, rooted in deferred maintenance debt, is a cautionary tale for anyone drawn in by the promise of affordable luxury. While the Silver Shadow's hidden costs stem from neglected complexity and specialized repairs, the next classic reveals a different kind of risk, one that emerges when restoration dreams collide with harsh realities. The Jaguar E-Type stands as one of the most admired designs in automotive history. Its proportions and racing pedigree continue to attract collectors, but the reality of ownership is far more complex. The E-Type, especially the Series 3 with its V12 engine, is often described by experts as a restoration black hole, one that can consume far more money than many buyers expect. The Series 3's V12 engine, while technically impressive, presents significant challenges. Its cooling system is a particular weak point. In modern driving conditions, the engine bay's tight packaging and the demands of stop-and-go traffic often lead to overheating. Persistent overheating can cause dropped valve seats, a failure that almost always requires a full engine rebuild. Specialist figures put this at $11,000 to $15,250, and that doesn't include the additional $2,000 plus tax often charged just to remove and refit the V12 engine. Even seemingly minor repairs, like replacing one of the 20 cooling hoses, become expensive due to the labour involved in accessing cramped components. Electrical issues are another consistent source of frustration and expense. The Lucas electrical system, known among enthusiasts as the Prince of Darkness, is infamous for its unreliability. Diagnosing faults in these aging systems can cost between $122 and $179 per hour, and a full loom repair can quickly reach several $1,000s in labour alone. Common failures, such as headlight circuits or wipers, can result in extended diagnostic sessions, adding to the overall cost of ownership. Parts availability for the E-Type is generally good, but prices remain high and labour costs drive total expenses even higher. Upgrades like aluminium radiators and improved fans are often necessary to prevent engine damage, but these add further to the bill. Owners who attempt full restorations often find themselves in a difficult financial position. Bringing a neglected E-Type up to standard can easily cost over $70,000, while fully restored Series 2 and 3 models typically sell for $62,000 to $69,000. This imbalance means that restoration projects frequently outpace the eventual value of the car. The E-Type's allure is undeniable, but the financial risks are substantial. For buyers, careful budgeting and thorough inspections are essential. But which trap turns reliability into a relentless money pit? The Porsche 911 often stands out as a symbol of dependable engineering, an icon many believe can be driven and enjoyed with minimal fuss. Yet the air-cooled models, especially those built before 1976, contain financial risks that are easy to overlook. The real threat isn't dramatic failure, but a steady, incremental cost spiral that quietly adds up over time. Each overlooked issue compounds the next, from rust panels to gearbox synchros, turning a minor repair into a major expense. Rust remains the most persistent and costly problem for early 911s. Without galvanized steel, these cars are vulnerable to corrosion in hidden areas. What starts as a few bubbles in the paint can mask extensive structural damage. Restoring bodywork compromised by rust typically starts at $12,500, but costs can escalate quickly if more corrosion is uncovered during repairs. Full restorations that require extensive metalwork and respraying can easily exceed $22,000 to $44,000, far beyond the initial expectations of many buyers. Mechanical costs add another layer of unpredictability. The 915 transmission used in many early models is known for its dated feel and susceptibility to wear. A basic rebuild can run from $1,875 to $3,750, but the cost rises quickly. Rebuild kits alone can reach $4,100 if gear or synchro replacement is needed. This transmission's quirks, combined with the high price of parts, can turn routine maintenance into a significant outlay. Even the engines, often praised for their durability, can become a major expense as mileage accumulates. Engine rebuilds are not uncommon after 100,000 miles and can range from $10,000 to $31,000 depending on the scope of work. Routine upgrades such as chain tensioner kits costing over $1,000 are essential to prevent serious failures. According to background research, the average annual repair cost for a pre-1989 911 is $1,072, a figure that does not account for major restoration or unexpected issues. The temptation to buy a Project 911 at a low entry price can be strong. Neglected examples may change hands for as little as $2,296. But restoring one to a high standard often requires an investment of $22,000 to $44,000, sometimes more if hidden issues emerge. The 911's reputation for reliability is well earned, but it does not shield owners from the cumulative effects of age, deferred maintenance, and premium parts pricing. Understanding these hidden costs is essential for anyone considering a classic 911. The financial realities of ownership often surprise even seasoned enthusiasts, especially when compared to the allure of more exotic brands. Yet, if the 911's expenses come from incremental wear and hidden rust, the next car's costs are driven by the very nature of exotic ownership itself. The Ferrari 308 GTB and GTS represent a classic entry point into the world of Italian exotics, thanks to their recognisable Pininfarina design and strong presence in popular culture. For many, the 308 appears attainable compared to other Ferraris, but this sense of accessibility often hides a steep, exotic tax that becomes clear only after purchase. The true cost of ownership is driven by specialised maintenance, premium-priced parts, and the labour-intensive nature of even routine services. One of the major financial traps with the 308 is the timing belt service. Ferrari recommends this procedure every 5 years or 30,000 miles, regardless of usage. While some UK specialists advertise timing belt kits for $155 to $400 and major service labour from $1,350 to $2,700, these figures can be misleading. A proper major service on a carburetted 308 typically requires removing the engine, a process that adds significant labour costs. If a clutch replacement is needed at the same time, the total can rise substantially. Historical reports from US specialists in the 1990s cite major services, including a clutch, costing upwards of $6,500, which would now exceed $10,000 when adjusted for inflation. While not every service reaches this level, the risk of an unexpectedly high bill is ever present, especially since Ferrari dealer labour rates can exceed $400 per hour. Parts pricing further amplifies the cost. Even routine items like timing belts command a premium, and unique components, such as the original Michelin TRX tyres, add another layer of expense. These tyres cost about $470 each and are outperformed by modern alternatives. As a result, many owners opt for 16-inch wheel conversions, which cost $1,350 to $1,760 per set, plus the price of new tyres. This upgrade is often seen as essential for drivability, but increases the overall investment. Scarcity and brand prestige also play a role. Ferrari's limited production numbers mean that sourcing genuine or high-quality reproduction parts is expensive. Owners who rely on official channels face consistently high prices, and even seemingly minor issues like carburetor tuning or exhaust repairs can escalate quickly once the car is in the workshop. Every routine service on a 308 feels like paying an exotic tax on specialised labour and scarce parts. The initial purchase price rarely reflects the long-term financial commitment required, and many buyers find themselves unprepared for the true cost of ownership. This pattern is common among exotics, where glamour and rarity often mask recurring, substantial expenses. Some cars, however, introduce a different challenge, where the biggest costs come not from driving, but from letting the car sit idle. The Lamborghini Countach stands as a testament to bold design and engineering ambition. Its angular silhouette, scissor doors and V12 engine have defined the supercar image for decades. Yet, for many owners, the Countach is less a driving machine and more a static asset. Its impracticalities and complex systems often keep it parked more than on the road. The engineering beneath the Countach's dramatic body introduces significant financial challenges. Its mid-mounted V12, paired with a gearbox positioned in front of the engine and a drive shaft running through the sump, creates a unique but complex layout. Any major powertrain work, whether a clutch replacement or a full engine overhaul, requires removing the entire engine and gearbox assembly. This process demands a specialized tall hoist and expert technicians, pushing labor costs into the tens of thousands of dollars. Clutch replacements typically range from $6,790 to $13,580, while a complete V12 engine rebuild is around $20,360. Gearbox rebuilds can add up to $10,860, and even routine maintenance can escalate quickly due to the car's intricate design and the labor-intensive nature of each task. Electrical failures are another major source of expense. The low-volume, hand-built wiring in the Countach is prone to age-related issues and corrosion, especially in cars that see little use. Full electrical system teardowns, as documented in specialist teardown videos, have been estimated at over $50,000. These costs reflect the painstaking process of tracing and repairing faults in a labyrinth of outdated wiring, a task that becomes more likely the longer the car sits idle. Overheating also poses a recurring risk. The cramped engine bay limits airflow, and if cooling system maintenance lapses, the V12 is susceptible to dropped valve seats, a failure that requires a full rebuild at a cost of approximately $20,000. These issues are well documented and highlight the importance of regular, proactive maintenance. Leaving a Countach unused does not protect it from costs. Exotic cars left idle often develop failures in hydraulics and electrics, turning storage into a hidden cost center. Components degrade, seals dry out, and deferred repairs accumulate, so a car that appears pristine in a garage can quickly become a source of unexpected expenses once it needs to be driven or serviced. The Countach is the ultimate showpiece, not a driver. Immense value on the showroom floor becomes immense expense once you need to drive or service it. This reality underscores a broader lesson for anyone considering a classic car. The true cost of ownership extends far beyond the price you pay to acquire it. To navigate the classic car market effectively, it's essential to recognize the 5 main financial traps: deferred maintenance debt, restoration black hole, incremental cost spiral, exotic tax, and showpiece not a driver. Each of these risks can undermine your investment if overlooked. Prioritize a pre-purchase inspection by an independent specialist with deep marque expertise, and set aside a contingency fund. Industry experts recommend at least 30 to 50% of the purchase price to address hidden issues. Build your annual budget to reflect routine maintenance costs of $1,000 to $3,000 or more, plus specialized fluids and component wear. With clear data and realistic budgets, owning a classic can be a strategic investment, not a surprise liability. If you found these insights valuable, hit subscribe and leave a comment with which trap surprised you most.